Good evening YouTube, it's Hannah from Smaugish and welcome back. It seems like it's been a long time since I did a proper face-to-face, but it can only have been a week or so. Obviously I vlogged at the weekend. If you haven't seen that vlog already, then... oh, I hate my hair. I hate this hair so much, it's not even funny. Anyway, yeah, if you haven't seen that vlog already, then do have a look, because I will be doing a general chatty video as well, but there are some things that went down in that vlog. Today, I'm going to be doing a tag video that I saw the beautiful Rachel Shade doing, which is the Oh My Goth tag, which I believe there's an alternative goth creators community on Facebook that I'm not part of, I don't qualify for, I don't have enough viewers, subscribers, whatever. But yeah, and they kind of came up with it, so I'm going to have a go answering that too. I have linked her video down in the description box, so do take a look at that, do check that out, because yeah, it's really interesting. So on with the tag. I apologise by the way if you can hear my heater. It's freezing cold, like it's so cold. So I have the questions on my laptop next to me. I do apologise if you hear it going, like I have my WhatsApp web app open. If you hear it going, I apologise, that's Peter. So hi Pete, and he is messaging me, so I apologise. Anyway, on to the first question, which is, regarding your style, do you take any inspiration from subcultures other than that are not goth, industrial or darkly inclined? And if so, what? I guess that depends what you count as like not goth, industrial, darkly inclined. Obviously I very much like metal fashion sometimes, but I guess that's darkly inclined. Things like I have my kuta, my battle jacket, and you know, metal t-shirts and stuff like that. I also really like kind of psychobilly, rockabilly, gothabilly, that kind of vintage thing. So I guess the vintage thing would be like 50s, 40s, would probably be the closest. But yeah, I think Rachel's answer that I don't like to pen myself in kind of fits me as well. Like I really don't like to think I am just gonna be this. And I'm wearing Killstar right now. This is a Killstar dress, but I buy it in the sales, and lots of my jewellery is from independent people like the Curiosities and Curiology and that, you know. But yeah, I try not to pen myself in, but I guess the whole vintage thing would probably be something that I'm definitely inspired by sometimes. The second question is, do you wear makeup that's inspired by goth or darkly inclined subcultures, even when you're not going to a goth or darkly inclined event? Yeah, all the time. If I'm wearing makeup, it's gonna be probably goth or darkly inclined. Like, I mean, you wouldn't say this was super goth because obviously, you know, I've got neon eyebrows, and apart from, you know, dark lips and some crazy eyeliner, I kind of look normal, but this is, yeah, I would still say it's goth. And yeah, that's just me, that's the makeup that I like to wear, and that's just all the time. When I put makeup on, that's what I do. I guess sometimes I look vintage, but yeah, pretty much all the time. Number 3 is, what's the dumbest or lamest question you've been asked regarding your alternative appearance? I can remember I was about 14 or 15 years old, and me and my brother went up to my parents' church, and I was wearing my New Rock shoes, and I think I was wearing like trip pants, you know, kind of cargo octopus parachute pants with like straps and shit all over the place, and a band t-shirt and something else, and you know, I had black lipstick on and probably arm warmers, you know, really bad, more goth stuff. And this really old woman just came up to me and said, "Ooh, do your parents let you go out like that?" Not realising that my dad was behind her, and he said, "Actually, we encourage it and we're very proud that they're comfortable with being their own person." That's probably it. I haven't had many questions. I've had the ones of, "Oh, did that hurt?" about my septum or my tattoos, or, you know, anything like that. I've had, you know, why, or you would be so pretty if you wore colour, and it's like, oh, fuck off. I know those aren't questions necessarily, but stupid comments. Ugh. It's just ridiculous. Question 4, describe the alternative scene where you live. So I'm not massively active in it. Obviously, I live fairly close to London, and you know, there's quite a big alternative scene where I live. Where there, you got the clubs like Antichrist, Subculture, Slime Night, all of those kind of things. But the big town that I live near, they have quite an active alternative scene, but it's more, it tends to be more like punk and hardcore, I guess some kinds of metal, but yeah, it definitely seems more that inclined. I'm actually really tempted. I'm going to message a few venues to see if I can't get a goth night going, just because I think there would be cause for it. I think, you know, people would go, and not necessarily a lot of the live music. Well, there aren't many goth bands to have live where I live, but a lot of the nights and stuff are punk. So I think having a goth night. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to continually play with my hair because I hate how it looks. Yeah, I think a goth night, like more like a sort of DJ night, club night sort of thing, I think it would go down really well. And to be honest, I just want to sway to the Sisters of Mercy with a cider and black in my hands. So I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, it's alright. It's just not particularly dark. Question 5. Are any of your relatives a part of the goth, industrial or darkly inclined subcultures? My brother is. My brother is a former goth. He probably would now call himself a metaler, general Viking man. But yeah, he used to be a goth. And his wife is kind of, she's more rockabilly, gothabilly, psychobilly sort of thing. But every now and again she goths up and that. So yeah, they both are. None of my cousins are. They're kind of just normal, you know. My oldest cousin used to be kind of emo, I'm gonna say. But she's not particularly emo now. My parents are kind of by proxy. They love it, and they both said if they were like 30 years younger they would definitely be goths. So yeah, then they're not actively a part of it, but my brother is. Number 6 is other than the music. If you had to pick a part of the subculture to be your favourite, what would it be and why? I like Rachel's answer about makeup. Yeah, I love makeup. I don't particularly do things too crazy every day, but every now and again I do like experiment with some of it. But I like makeup and fashion, jewellery, you know, accessorising. So that kind of the physical appearance related side of it I really like. And I have so many things I would love to do. Like, I would love to have like a side cut, undercut, sort of almost like trad goth kind of thing, you know, where literally if I had that and I had this hair, I wouldn't care so much if I could like shave this part of my head. But obviously being a primary school teacher, I can't do that, and I can't have the body modifications that I would like to have, and I can't shave my eyebrows off and have the crazy eyebrows and crazy hair colour, and you know, things that I would like to do I can't do. But I love it from afar, and you know, there's this version of me in my head which is like the ultimate uber goth me, that has all this amazing stuff, but you know, never mind. That's probably the thing that I would love the most apart from the music, is the kind of fashiony beauty side. Question 7 is what is the first goth or industrial band you ever listened to? Again, I just seem to be like doing a lot of the same answers as Rachel's here, but I think The Cure were definitely up there. They were definitely one of the first. I remember when I was younger, my dad does like quizzes for the local pub. He's the quiz master, so and he likes punk and rock and stuff. So I listened to a lot of, you know, compilation albums, and there was one that I remember. It had The Cure, Boys Don't Cry on it. It had The Damned, and it had Susie Sue. Oh god, what was it? I think it was Halloween. No! Christine. And so those 3 songs I was obsessed with. So really, I had pretty good gateway bands. If we're talking about strictly goth gateway bands, would be The Cure, The Damned, and Susie. But also they're not goth, but they are kind of modern gothic rock. So I think they've got a lot to do with it. And even bands like Cradle of Filth, because you know, the whole aesthetic and the lyrical themes and things I would say are quite gothic, if not goth. So I think they all contributed to me finding my way in the musical quagmire that is goth. Question 7 is, what is the first goth or industrial band you ever listened to? Again, I just seem to be like doing a lot of the same answers as Rachel's here, but I think The Cure were definitely up there. They were definitely one of the first. I remember when I was younger, my dad does like quizzes for the local pub. He's the quizmaster, so and he likes punk and rock and stuff. So I listened to a lot of, you know, compilation albums, and there was one that I remember. It had The Cure, Boys Don't Cry on it. It had The Damned, and it had Susie Sue. Oh god, what was it? I think it was Halloween. No! Christine. And so those 3 songs I was obsessed with. So really, I had pretty good gateway bands. If we're talking about strictly goth gateway bands, would be The Cure, The Damned, and Susie. But also him, they're not goth, but they are kind of modern gothic rock. So I think they've got a lot to do with it. And even bands like Cradle of Filth, because, you know, the whole aesthetic and the lyrical themes and things I would say are quite gothic, if not goth. So I think they all contributed to me finding my way in the musical quagmire that is goth. Question 8, what is your favourite song that is not goth or industrial? I don't pen myself in musically. I just love music, and I listen to so much music. I listen to Taylor Swift, I listen to Little Mix. I've mentioned that before on this channel in my Ungoth Confessions. I listen to musical theatre, I listen to jazz, I listen to a little bit of rap, I listen to folk, I listen to classical, I listen to so much music. And actually I always find it really hard to pin down a favourite. And it's such a cop-out, but I don't think I could pick one favourite song, full stop, let alone one that is not goth specifically. At this moment in time, because they're not goth, so I think I can, and no prizes for guessing which band I'm going to talk about when I'm talking about a band that has something to do with being a favourite and is not goth, because we all know it's coming. My favourite song at the moment is Ghost, and oh, now I have to pick one. Just because I've been listening to the album over and over again, my favourite song at the moment that is not goth or industrial is Ritual by Ghost. But I just like so much stuff. Question 9, if you're planning a goth vacation, where would you go and what would you do there? I just need to do some Googling because I can't remember what it's called. Bear with me. Ooh, look at that lighting. Yeah. Okay, so, again, Rachel said about going to Romania and doing like some of the vampire tours. I would love to go to Sighișoara. My dad worked with a charity, it must have been about 10 years ago-ish. And part of the charity, they did a lot of work in Romania. And I think the point of the charity was, it's called Well Found. And, you know, they did water, obviously, in places like Africa, but they also wanted to provide clean water to a lot of Romani families and gypsy families in Romania. And he was the charity was based around Sighișoara, so he did a lot of stuff. He went to Romania lots, and he went to Sighișoara lots, and that is where Vlad Tepes is from. So I'd love to go to Sighișoara, and I would go and see Vlad Tepes's castle and all those kind of things. I used to have this amazing t-shirt that my dad bought me back from Sighișoara once, which had that really famous woodcut of Vlad. I don't know where it's gone. So I'd go there. I'd also go to Prague, because I want to see the Sedlec ossuary, however you say it, the Sedlec ossuary, which is like one of the like biggest and best and most impressive ossuaries. And if you don't know what an ossuary is, it's it's basically a bone church. So it's a church, a chapel that's decorated with bones. It's so goth, but I've always wanted to do that. Or I'd also go to Paris and see Gothic architecture like Notre Dame and the Sacré-Cœur and the catacombs and all of the amazing cemeteries and stuff that they have in Paris. That's probably what I do. Or I'd make up my own thing and I'd go to the Yorkshire moors and the dales and the peaks and all that and pretend to be a Bronte and be windswept and haunt around the moors in a big floaty dress. That sounds pretty gothic as well. Finally, question 10. Can you share a quote or saying that is your life philosophy? Now, because this is like a goth tag, I felt like I wanted to think of something goth. My favourite quote of all time comes from Harry Potter, and it is, "Want to know what a man's like? Take a good look at how he treats his inferiors, not his equals," which is Sirius Black says that. I just think that's kind of my life philosophy. My other life philosophy, which is, I'm obsessed with this quote recently, but it's just true, is the oldest and strongest emotion of mankind is fear, and the oldest and strongest kind of fear is fear of the unknown, which is a quote by HP Lovecraft. And I think as a goth, that's kind of poignant as well, because you've got the whole unknown thing. People don't like what they don't know, and for a lot of people, goths and those of us that are darkly inclined and like darker stuff and more morbid stuff, that kind of fits there. And to me, death is a great unknown. I don't have a fascination with death, but you know, mourning culture and death and the whole idea, and cemeteries and graveyards, and I'm really sorry for my dog, you can hear in the background. It is a fascination, and that is, I think, the ultimate unknown. There is no way of knowing what comes next, and I'm not particularly scared of it. I don't particularly have fear of death, and I think a lot of people do, and it's because it is unknown. So I don't think that's necessarily the way in which HP Lovecraft meant that quote when he wrote it, but that's the way in which I understand it. So yeah, that is definitely one. Those two quotes kind of sum up my life philosophy. As it stands, I believe people fluctuate, and I believe our lives are in flux and our characters are in flux. So if you ask me again in 10 years, or even a year, if you ask me again in a year, I would probably say something different. But currently those two quotes are my life philosophy. There you go, there you have it. That is my 10 questions of my take on the Oh My Goth tag. If you'd like to do the tag yourself, then I invite you to do it. And thank you so much to Rachel Shade for uploading that video, and I really enjoyed thinking about this. There were some really good questions. I don't actually think I've done, or I've at least uploaded just the goth tag, and that's something I'm planning to do. I also saw Kaya from Toxic Tears. She did her 10 goth cliches, because obviously I've done the 10 ungoth confessions, but I want to do the 10 goth cliches, which I'm kind of thinking about that now, so that might come over the weekend. But yeah, I quite enjoy tags, and if you've got any other tag ideas, I've got some, as I've just said, I've got some milling around, some ideas, but if you've got any other ideas, just let me know. You can either Instagram me or find me on Facebook or comment down below. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my video. Remember to like, subscribe to my channel, because at the moment I'm a very, very small YouTuber with my 17 subscribers, but you know, YouTube is stomping all over us, so any bit of support that you can give is incredibly, incredibly appreciated. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.